End of Nicolas Sarkozy's trial, decision on March 1, 2021. The Paris court will deliver its judgment on March 1, 2021 in the so-called eavesdropping trial, which ended Thursday evening in France following pleadings by the defense of former President Nicolas Sarkozy's co-defendants. For 7 hours, the defenders of the lawyer of Mr. Sarkozy, Thierry Herzog, and the former High Magistrate Gilbert Azibert pleaded the release, denouncing the fantasies and the hypotheses of the prosecution in this file: corruption and influence peddling. Asked to speak before the adjournment of the hearing, Nicolas Sarkozy spoke of a way of the cross, repeating that he spoke the truth. The National Financial Prosecutor's Office, PNF, has requested 4 years in prison, including 2 closed, asking for the same sentence for Gilbert Azibert and Thierry Herzog, with the latter 5 years of professional ban, or a social death penalty for Gilbert Azibert, a professional death penalty for Thierry Herzog, and a political death penalty for Nicolas Sarkozy, said Dominique Allegrini. Gilbert Azibert's lawyer portrayed a legal scholar who only explained the workings of the Court of Cassation to his friend Thierry Herzog, without violating any rule. According to the prosecution, this 73-year-old former magistrate transmitted, in 2014, confidential information to Mr. Herzog about an appeal by Nicolas Sarkozy in another case, the Betancourt case, then under examination at the Court of Cassation. The one who was at the time Advocate General in another chamber of the highest judicial jurisdiction also, according to financial prosecutors, tried to influence the decision, in exchange for support from the former president for a post in Monaco. The magistrates all declared that Mr. Azibert had not requested them, underlined Mr. Allegrini, ridiculing the hypothesis of the Azibert virus which would have contaminated his colleagues. Describing an instruction that gave birth to a legal Frankenstein, he mocked a windy accusation. A file made up of approximations, suspicions, hypotheses, and lawsuits, full of fantasies, but empty of evidence, said Paul Albert Iwines, one of Thierry Herzog's lawyers. At the heart of the case are conversations between Mr. Herzog, historical lawyer of Nicolas Sarkozy, and his client, intercepted on an unofficial line opened in the name of Paul Bismuth. A secret line that does not, however, presume an offense, said Mr. Iwines, insisting on the risk of wiretapping for a former tenant of the Élysée. In the absence of a corruption pact between the 3 men, there are 2 parallel friendship moves, but without the slightest causal link between them. And for lack of evidence, the prosecution invites us to find out what is in the minds of the defendants, their secret intentions. It is a dangerous conception, inspired by a feeling of omnipotence, he argued. This file is the file of suspicion, upheld against all odds. A suspicion which led, from the outset, the justice system to conduct lamentable eavesdropping, launched Hervé Temaim, another lawyer for Mr. Herzog. Illegal, they must be set aside as a whole in the name of the secrecy of exchanges between a lawyer and his client, the basis of the defense, he pleaded. Where is the evidence? He finally thundered. There are only exculpatory elements, art from the content of wiretaps whose interpretation is too fragile, too random.